am just a few moments late, but I had the postman show up at my door and I had to get that package taken care of. So we'll wait just a few moments, see if anybody else wants to come on before we switch down and start working on our necklace again. Now, if we get the necklace done, I figured I'd use some more of these little pearls to make some Barbie jewelry. So if we get it done, we'll do that. But right now we're just going to finish up our necklace. So it's going to, hi Becky. So hopefully it will go a little smoother today and we can get this finished. I think we can because I think I sort of figured out what my problem was yesterday. And if you'll recall, I said, I checked these beads. Why won't they go into the velour thread like I figured they should? Well, it turns out when I needled them, because it's got this fuzzy on it, the thread, it actually made the thread be bigger. So we're going to cut that thread, those ends off and just not use that, the needling. But so I did put this small one on the end, and that was the first one how I checked it. So we're going to cut, like I said, we'll cut the needling off, and then we can put that other small one on here. Let's just cut the needling off right now, since it's right here. Hi, Linda. And just, there they go. No more needling. And I thought that was so strange, but you know, like I said, the needling, when I put the glue on, it made the velour be bigger, because instead of letting it wouldn't let the little threads, the little soft threads, go down when I was putting the beads on them. So let's turn down and we'll get started again. Well, that's all right, Becky. Just yeah, you can watch the replay. That's not a problem. Doing a little backwards. Yeah, that's all right though. You know, it works. Hi, Dorothy. So let's turn down and we will get going on this again. I only have one more bead, that small one that we couldn't get on before, which will go on since I've cut the needling off. And then we're going to knot it to the pendant, since we decided that the thread probably wouldn't go through with the wire in there. Which maybe we'll try it since I cut the needling off, and but I don't think it will. So we'll just tie both velours to one side, then we'll start over on the other side. But like I say, it should take me less time, I would think, since I don't have the problem I had before. I won't have the same problem. So let's turn her down and we'll get going again. Come on, turn. There we go. And now let's see if I can get this to go up just a hair's breadth. Oop, too much. Little teeny bit more. There we go. That's about perfect. I still have more beading table, but I try to keep it so it stays onto this light brown mat as far as the bottom is concerned, and that helps quite a bit. So here's our pendant again. And like I say, even with cutting the needling off, I don't think it's going to go through with the wire in there, which would be right through here. Well, amazingly enough, it is going through this one. I doubt if it would go through the second one, though, because it's got two wires in it instead of just one. Are you coming through? Well, I shouldn't have done this anyway because I need to put that last bead on this side. But we can still see if it'll come through. Boy, it's right there. Well, I know it will go through that one, but I still think we're just going to tie it off. Anyway, we're going to get our beads back out. And we need just one of these. So we'll just thread her on here. And bring her down. See how much simpler that one went on? And I barely reamed any of these out. I just checked them to see how they would do. And it did just fine. Without the needling, I checked it from the opposite side because I was sort of confused because I know I had checked them. So I was like, why? Why are you not going through? I checked you. You should be going through just fine. But it wanted to argue. Up that way. Up that way. There we go. So that's our last bead on that side. And I have to decide if I want to try and push that through, but I don't think I do because I think we do want to just put a knot around the wires right here and leave a little bit of our thread dangling down to make another sort of decoration here. So, and then we'll just do the same on the other side and go up the line on that side probably. So we do want this pretty tight along here. Where's my awl? There it is. And I want you down here. Not right on the other knot, but close enough to it. Though frankly, I could just let it go on the other knot. It wouldn't hurt anything. Then we're just going to cut the strings here and let them dangle down just a little bit. I may tie another knot here just, but we're going to cut these strings right here. And this, I would hope, would be plenty long enough for the other side. We'll find out. And anyway, I think I am going to tie another knot. Let this be sort of like a double knot right here where it's hooking onto this here. So we'll hopefully can make this dangle down here. Well, actually I could by just stuffing it through the bottom wire, but I'm not sure I want to do that. So we'll see what we decide to do when we get to the other end. So I'm just gonna try and sort of do the same thing here. Make sure I get about the same length. And if I don't, I'll just trim the one that's too long off. Get out of my way. Whoops. I actually think they're pretty close to the same length, though this one might be just a bit longer. So we'll trim this one just a hair's breadth. Hey, Rosemary, I thought your TV was out or your Wi-Fi or whatever. I thought you said on Randy's show that was going to be out for a few hours. I'm glad to see you're back. Okay, now we want this little knot right here. So it's going to be close, but not right beside the other one. That's about right. Now we're going to repeat this pattern up the other side. So we're going to start with one of these little ones. Now I did have to remount the this one, the triangular one, to get them to fit, but without the needle, the glued needles on the ends, I did not have to with the little ones, which they were really stubbornly not wanting to go in at all, but they gave me no problem once I took the needling off. So that's good. Hey, Deborah, how's it going? You got your curated beadbox, huh? I've never tried that one. Maybe I should. Or the dollar beadbox. One of those, the other. But sometimes it depends on the price. As I'm retired, my income is sort of limited, and I spend too much on beads as it is. I'm surprised my husband doesn't yell at me sometimes for the amount of money I spend on beads, but it is what it is. He's actually pretty good about not. So I think we're to the triangular one now. Hi, Miss Tacos. Hey, Leah. Now this one is one that will be a little stubborn because it's a little longer. So it's going to take me probably a few more moments to get it through. The other ones, nope, she went through pretty good. Like I said, this is the one I had to remount. The others, once I used the side with no needling on it, I actually tried it on that side to see how they were working. They were great. And I'm like, I knew I checked all these beads and they were working. So I couldn't understand why they weren't, but is what it is. Okay. Now we have 3 of these style. Now these cords will have to relax some so they'll stay down, but by the pendant, but I rather think that's pretty cool looking. But come on, baby. There's one. It's amazing how much faster it goes when it's not arguing with you. Of course, we did make the pendant yesterday, and that took up quite a bit of time. There we go. Oops. You stay over there where you belong. Here I say it's not fighting with me, and then it instantly knots in a weirdo way here. Not sure what it's trying to do here. We may have to pull the knot out entirely to fix this. There we go. Now I know what happened there. The knot wrapped around the bead, which then made it want to go below instead of above the bead. And luckily I hadn't tightened anything, so it wasn't that hard to get off. I think we're now at this little triangular style one. Yep, right there. Then it'll be these 2 and then this last one. Then we have to decide how we're going to finish it off. Now I do have some taco foldovers right here if we decide that's the way to do it, and it probably will be, because I'm not sure this will be long enough just to go over your head. And I'm not sure I would want it to anyway. So we have 2 more beads here. This is actually velour thread, which is like fall thread, fall suede, fall suede, but it's not. It came in my FOC package. I was like, oh, now what the heck am I going to do with this? And then I decided to do exactly what I'm doing with it, since it is a cord, as opposed to something else. And I decided, well, we'll give her a try. We'll see what it does here. But yeah, I do sell my stuff too. I got it on Etsy, but I really don't sell a lot on Etsy. I sell a lot more at my crafts fairs and stuff, but at this time of the year they aren't going on. So, last bead. But yeah, when I started, and I'd just make lots and lots and lots of stuff, and my husband would say, Rose, you can't keep it all. You got way too much stuff. You can't keep it all. You have to sell some of it. So, that's true, Rosemary. Stuff like that does have to come first. I don't know how old you are. I know that I have Medicare and insurance from my work that I kept. It costs, obviously, for me to keep and I did keep the, on my Medicare, I did keep the doctor's stuff instead of just the hospital stuff. So that also cost some, but I think it's worth it just to have that extra, um, the extra peace of mind to know I've got all this insurances if I need it. Well, Dorothy, that's not always the case. I just had a whole bunch of car bills. Of course, a lot of mine was due to the fact that we had such really, really cold weather and it messed with some of my car's workings. So it wasn't helpful at all. Now, I'm considering just knotting these up here at the top together. If it'll pull over your head. Oh, which it will easily. So I think I'm just going to knot the ends together here. Do a double knot on them and then cut some of this off just so I don't have a lot here. Because yeah, this will easily go over my head. Try it again. Yep, no problem. So we're just going to knot the ends together here and then, like I say, leave a bit of thread dangling down, cut the rest off. Usually there's a, you can look it up online, but usually there's a list of craft shows and stuff. I miss some. My Artisan Craftsman Club will try and post stuff for us, but I still miss some. And some of them, it's just fine that I missed them because I missed one the other day, probably the first of the season. And my friends that did do it said it was more or less a bust. They didn't make hardly anything, so it wasn't really worth it to them. So now I've got this first knot. I think I'm going to, let's see how well she holds. Oh, she's holding good, so I don't have to. I was debating just double knot, making another knot on here. Then I'm going to cut, like this much off and leave some thread. That cuts off quite a bit of my velour. I don't really need it anyway. I have a whole big strand left. And it makes it be from knot to pendant is 12 inches, so it's 24 inches. Easily goes over the head. Anyway, it did go over my head. And so there we have our pendant finished. And I think it looks pretty cool. Like I said, these will have to relax some. We could put a spot of glue on here, but I don't think it's necessary. So there we go. Oh, hi, Anita. Oh, geez, Leah. That must be a pain then to have to work on stuff because I know even after a little while, my back starts to hurt. Check Google shows near me, craft shows near me, Rosemary. That's what I do periodically. Now, Montana's great. We don't have a sales tax unless you're in a city that has what they call resort taxes, which I hate those and I will try to avoid those because it's a pain in the buns. So we don't have taxes here as far as our craft shows are concerned. However, I do have my business listed. What we have is a business name registry rather than a tax registry. And so we just have to register our business name, and mine's been registered for years, and that qualifies us for wholesale stuff. So some things I can get wholesale, others I can't because, well, some people just don't sell wholesale. So so that's how I do mine. Though when I go to Idaho and do the 2 Renaissance fairs I do in Idaho, they do have a sales tax. So I do have to get what they call a temporary sales permit from Idaho to do those 2 shows. And I get them per show. They allow you to do 3 shows without having to get a regular tax permit. And then you just have to pay them the sales tax after your shows. Hi, Anita. So, thank you. So this is our necklace all done. And I think it turned out pretty cute. It's not my normal style at all, but I like it. Guess we don't need these since I used this as a pullover and didn't put a clasp on it. Very, very lightweight because these are acrylic beads, and then of course it's the suede cord. The only thing with any heft to it is the little metal plate here. So there we go. Now, since we still have another half hour of the hour, I've got some stuff out. Let's put this to the side here. I think we can still see it over here, but it's not in our way. I got some stuff out to make some Barbie doll jewelry with some of the remaining pearls. So in order to make these, I've got some eye pins and some head pins, some tiny ones. And these are for the earrings. And then I've got some ring memory wire. This is what I use to make the necklaces. Oh, come on out, babe. And I need, where are my memory wire cutters? I need them. There they are. This is a little awkward to do, but you need about a loop and a half of your memory wire. So just sort of slide her in there. Check to see you're about where you want it. And clip it off. There is my necklace piece. Now I just use regular round nose pliers to do the ends, and I do that because, well, I've got some memory wire pliers, and, well, let's just say I don't trust them. And this is why. See here how it's already bent like that? Every time I use these, they bend just a little bit more, and it drives me nuts. These are a little bent too, not as much. So maybe we could use them, but I think I'm just going to use regular round nose. And these are, like I say, these are for the earrings. These are for the necklace. This piece here is for the necklace, as well as these guys. Now, oh, there, I was going to say, I should have another one of the spacers. And then 2 crystals. And I think we'll go with 2 pearls each for the earrings. The earrings are really quite simple to make. The necklace is a bit more difficult. And that's primarily because, number one, you don't know how many beads you're going to need, so you're playing it by ear, so to speak. And frequently you have to take them back off because you've got too much. And it's working with memory wire, which, as all of you know, I'm sure, it stays exactly the roundness it is. Just Google craft shows in my area, Rose, and it should pop up with all kinds of things. Thanks, Becky. Hey, Rebecca. Yeah, memory wire can be brutal. And because this is so tiny, it can be a royal pain in the schnoz to do the turns and stuff. And so you want to put a loop on one end. Come on, you. I think Deborah made some of these the other day. She posted them on Randy's site. And just turn the end. Come on, baby, turn. You want to get it all the way turned, especially if you're using seed beads for your base, for your main beads, because if you don't, they'll try to escape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 or 4 pearls on first. See about where they land at. 1. I made a pearl set just before Christmas time and took them to one of my shows. I guess it was actually just before Thanksgiving because my show was in November. But it was a Christmas show. But I had a pearl set there, and a lady came by and laughed about the pearl necklace and earrings for Barbie doll. And I said, well, you know, she's got to have something to wear with her little black dress. And she laughed, and then she bought it for her granddaughter. I thought that was pretty good. Okay. Push these up here, and I'm thinking we need at least one, maybe two more pearls. So we'll put, actually at least two, maybe three, but we'll put these two on. Come on, baby, go on. This is the hardest part about making these, is getting these little beads onto the memory wire. And frankly, the earrings are just so much easier to me. But so up here, I think one more. Oh dear. I have actually got it to bend, but the only time I got it to bend, I actually broke it because this steel wants to be where it's at, and if you make it be where it doesn't want to be, sometimes it, well, breaks because it's just horrid that way. Come on, go around. Every necklace should have a focal, so this big sparkly, I call them disco balls because they got so many beads on them. But or little rhinestones on them. I suppose they're a form of pave, but okay, baby, go around there. I'm going to have to get some more pearls out so we can finish this baby up. Come on. Because we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on here, and I only have one now, so we've got to get 6 more. Now these little pearls were from my FOC as well, though the other things are not, but I figured, heck, we're making FOC things, we might as well use our little pearls and for something. Now, like I said, it's sort of a guessing game, how many of everything you need to get on here to make your necklace. And I usually use seed beads for the base part here. And I have actually broken them off before rather than trying to restring them after I got too much on one side. But that's the lovely thing about seed beads. They're not expensive, and they'll break because they're glass. Come on, last one. Now there we go. Looks like I guessed pretty good on this one. So now we just have to turn the other side and our little necklace is done. So pull this out. Well, if we can get it to pull out. Now it's a little long, so it's probably going to wrap. And if you need to wrap it around more than once, then it just becomes sort of like a split ring on the end, in my opinion, and it's no problem. And I know I'm probably off screen, and I'm sorry. Now I'm going to take and do the same on the other side to get this sort of, that same split ring style like thing on this side. I'm not sure she's turning any. I don't think she is. Come on, you. There she goes. Now, Barbie doesn't care if you have your pieces have a little edges to them, because let's face it, her neck is not very sensitive. Now, if you wanted, you could cut this extra wire off instead of trying to, got this way crooked, instead of trying to do this with it. We still have some space here. We need to keep turning it till we don't have that space. We don't want gaps in the front when Barbie's wearing her jewelry. And like I say, if you had wanted to get your memory wires out there and try and cut that extra little bit off, more power to you. It's not something I want to do. I'd rather just keep turning it till I have a nice little split ring here on the end and have these pretty tight. And it looks pretty good now. Going to straighten these loops up some because they're tipped over sideways. So there is our necklace all finished. Isn't it cute? Let's get my Barbie doll out. I'll show you what it looks like on her. So all it has to do is just pull it from side to side and slip it on, and there's her necklace. And yep, the ring size memory wire is perfect for a little necklace. And it closes over on the front on itself, but it doesn't have to. If you didn't make it big enough, your wire, that's fine. It just has to go around her neck, and you could have a gap in the back, no problem. So there's her necklace. You'll notice she has some little crystal ear studs on right now. Now we're going to make some earrings, and you just have to pull, and it comes right off. What time is it? Oh, we still have about 15 minutes, so that's plenty of time to make our earrings. So in order to make Barbie earrings, we've got some 2 eye pins and 2 head pins, and we're going to make the earrings by putting crystal on the bottom, then the spacer, and 2 pearls. 1, 2. Now see, it'll match her necklace quite nicely. Then we'll do our tiny bend, and I don't want a very big bend because I don't want a big signature here as I make her earrings. Do the same on the other side. Give her a little bend. So now we need to make some little loops. That's why I'm going to use my round nose again. They're smaller than my regular stuff. Boop, boop. Come around. There's one. That loop isn't pretty, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's a doll's earring. though I do try to make them be nice. So we're going to do what we normally do. Grab this here and wrap it up. Now, unlike the necklace, with its memory wire, these are more or less just like any other wire wrapped earring you'd make. Make a loop and then wire wrap it after you've got your beads on there. This is a very tiny earring if you want to wear it yourself. So grab those and then do our wraps. And tuck it in. So there is our second one. So those two are all set. Now we have to do what we need to do to make them into the earrings for Barbie, and that is work on these. So what we need to do is take our flat nose pliers. I'm taking the ones with the wider blades. Pop them up to our circles. You can do these one at a time since it's easier, and besides that, you know where you're going to go with them. And then just bend this up. Do the same with the other one. Now you want a wider flat nose because you need that space. So now we're going to just take these. We're going to finish bending them. I didn't bend them all the way. I should have just gone ahead and kept it up. Because I'm going to want them to bend as much as possible. And we're going to flatten that bend out. Okay. I'm glad to hear it, Deborah. Did you make her any earrings? Because they're really not hard to make. Like I said, just make them like you would a little tiny earring, and then do this piece here. Now that we've got this piece done, we want to, come on. Actually, I should have left it a little bit apart, and we'll have to squish it back together. What we want to do is trim this right here where the circle ends. And like I said, I'll tighten these back up. Now you have 2 extra pieces of wire if you want them. I'm just going to throw them away. They don't do anything for me. So now we'll just tighten these back up again as much as you can. That wasn't really very loose. This one's looser. You want these right beside each other. Now the next step is to open your loop just enough. There you are. To slide your earring into it. Bing. One earring done. Two earrings done. So there's our earrings. So there's our set of Barbie doll jewelry, all set. 2 earrings, necklace. Yeah. Well, my husband usually gives me a Barbie doll for Christmas this year, every year, one of the holiday ones. Unfortunately, this year the holiday Barbie was over $100. And I thought, "Oh, that's ridiculous." So, no, no way. So, you can see this one that was in her ear, it's just a crystal. And then the bend is what makes it stay tight in the ear, that bend in your wire, because after a while, earrings. So, there's her earring. Let's put the other one in too. Carefully put these aside so I don't lose my little crystal studs that she always wears. So there's her other earring. So she has her earrings on. And come on, put your necklace on. There we go. There's the set. So there, those are done. Okay, I'm going to turn up, guys. I would think so too, because they're usually about $40, sometimes closer to 50, but that's not, that big of a deal. But when he was looking for one, he said either I couldn't find one or they were atrociously expensive. And so I thought, okay, I'll look. And I looked and I found them for anywhere from between $98 and um and 100 and something. 120, 130, something like that. So I was like, ugh, no, don't get me one this year because that's too expensive. Maybe we can find one on clearance later. But there is her jewelry set, earrings and necklace. So her nice little pearl and crystal necklace here. And like I say, these pearls are from my FOC from Thunder Horse Descendant. So you could say this set's from Thunder Horse Descendant as well as my necklace, which we finished. Which, again, here it is. Oops, I got it turned so it's my way instead of your way. So there's the pendant and all our little beaded beads. And like I say, it's very simple and it's really lightweight. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Dorothy, if they raised the price because of the movie. Yeah, I used to do the same thing, Rosemary, just cut some pins down and use them. I've had people say, "But my Barbie doesn't have holes for her earrings." So I have to explain to them how to make them, which if you have grandchildren, granddaughters that have Barbies and they don't have ear holes, it's really simple to do them. Just take a pair of pliers because your needle is going to get hot. So you want to take a needle and your pair of pliers, heat the needle up with like a lighter or something like that. And then just if you've made a little mark where in the ear where you think a pierced ear would go, and then just punch the needle in, let it sit for just a second and pull it back out. If you let it sit for very long, you're going to have a really big hole because it's going to melt the plastic. You want to see it closer, Miss Tacos? Sure. The necklace or the Barbie doll jewelry. There's the Barbie doll jewelry. There's the earrings and her little necklace. So, earring. Come on, earring, hold still so you stay in focus. They're very mobile, as you can tell. And the necklace. I wouldn't be surprised at all, Dorothy, if that's why they raised the price, was because of the movie. But yeah, her earrings are very mobile. They don't want to stay still. But yeah, I think about it and I think, what did I do with all my Barbie dolls that I had when I was a kid? There's some of those are really collectible nowadays, but you know, that's the way it goes. So there was the jewelry, Barbie jewelry. And again, here's our necklace. And there is no clasp. It'll pull over your head, see? And it's very, very lightweight because of it's all acrylic and this velour cord. Oh, cool. And let's back up so you can see. Oh, I've got it crooked here. So there's the necklace, all finished. Like I say, it's extremely lightweight because the only thing with any weight is this little metal disc, because they're all acrylic beads, and then it's the velour cords. I used to have some really cool Barbies. Remember when they first started being bendable? And they had like metal inside, and then they had the coated, like the rubber coated legs over with the rubber over their legs and arms. I really loved that Barbie. But my doll, my dog, we had a Cocker Spaniel, a cross between a poodle and a Cocker Spaniel, and he loved to chew up things. And my Barbie became an amputee because he chewed off her legs at the knees. It was very upsetting. And my parents' response was, well, you shouldn't have left it around where he could get to it. And I suppose that's true. But so there's what we finished our necklace today, and we made a set of Barbie doll jewelry. So we're just about right at the earrings. Yeah. 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 Oh my goodness, Deborah. That one apparently is worth quite a bit of money nowadays if it's still in good shape, if you still have it, but I doubt if you still do because, hey, I know I don't have any of mine. Oh, yeah, I do remember her. Hi, Laverne. Glad you like the jewelry. I have a lot of fun making it. Like I said, the most difficult part is the necklaces because you're never sure how many beads you're going to need around the base part before you get to whatever you decide is your focal or your pretty in the front. And sometimes you get a lot too many. I actually could have put a couple more pearls on here, but I didn't need them because it went all the way around. See? It's all the way around her neck. And it even comes together there, so I didn't need to add any more. So I always try to cut 1.5 loops. I must do the Barbie design again. Oh, I have lots. I have more than one on my, I think I have, well, I have at least one on my list of things that I have made on my YouTube channel. I know I have at least one more because Thomas asked and Sarah asked me to make a set with some of the little beads out of one of my Soft Flex kits. I think it was the Pretty Birds one. So that's in there. Oh, 20. You know, I don't have, well, I might have that many because I do have some put away other than my husband gave me the peridot one because that's my birthstone. And then, like I said, I've got years back of holiday Barbies. Not all of them have had their jewelry replaced. If I can't get them out of the box safely, I and get it back in after the jewelry is put on, I don't do them. I've got one that's got like a snow globe one, and she just begs for jewelry, but I can't get her out of the box without destroying the box. So, and because I like to keep mine in the box, I won't take her out. And I didn't do last year's yet. I have to do that still. Maybe I'll get her out and we'll design something for her and on a future video. But this little Barbie I just use as my model. Like I said, it's just ring memory wire, 1.5 loops, and an eye pin and a head pin for the earrings and whatever beads you want to use. And like I was saying, if you put too much beads on, if you use seed beads as your base and you get to the focal and it's like way off to one side, you can break the beads rather than having to take them all off because they're not expensive and they're glass. So you just take your pliers to them and smash them. But I try to guesstimate about how many I need, and this one worked really nicely. So I didn't have to do any taking off or smashing. So anyway, I enjoy making the jewelry for the dolls. Well, I don't buy very many of them. Like I say, it's mainly this one I just bought for my model because hey, you need a model. And like I say, my husband buys me the Christmas ones. Well, most years until this year when it was just ridiculously priced. But I enjoy making the jewelry for them. I think that's fun. And I usually do I usually have like 6 sets at my craft shows. I will tell you that when I take them to the craft shows, I put all of the pieces in a tiny baggie, and then I take a picture and I print out the picture in like a 4x6 and staple the baggie onto the picture to show what it would look like without having the little pieces all really loose, because let's face it, those are tiny. You could easily palm them. And I probably might not have 25, but I have at least 20. And I don't have any of the other ones. It's just Barbie, but I remember when we used to have Midge and Skipper and Ken. I think those were the only ones. Skipper was Barbie's little sister, Midge her best friend, Ken her boyfriend. But don't they just? So anyway, that's what I do with the Barbie jewelry. I do make it. I do sell it at my craft shows. Sometimes I put it on the Etsy shop. I've sold a few pieces through my Etsy shop sets. But I always do a necklace earring set. So this little girl has a bracelet on that came with her. It's plastic. I have made bracelets for my Barbies before, but let's face it, you're going to make them out of your metal. Or maybe, I suppose you could make them out of stretch cord, but it would be awful tiny. And I think your knot would show because I don't think you'd well, if you made the focal of your bracelet be a big bead, big whole bead, you might be able to make a bracelet out of stretch cord. I made one that doesn't come off, of course, because it's on one of my Christmas Barbies, a little red crystal bracelet, but you're going to make it out of wire and you'd have to bend it over and over again to get it on and off. So I don't usually make them bracelets because, well, let's face it, sooner or later, if you're bending it to take it on and off all the time, it's going to break. And we don't want that to happen. I like my stuff to stay intact. So there we go. There's our Barbie jewelry. Da, da, da. And that was a secondary thing to make. We were finishing off our necklace. That's true, Miss Tacos, and that's why if I can't get mine out of the box without safely putting it back in, I won't take it out. And so some of them don't have their jewelry replaced, but most of them do. And then when I do replace the jewelry, rather than throwing the old crud away, because let's face it, it's crappy, I put it in a little baggie and put it in the bottom of the box. So that's how I deal with that. So so anyway, we have gone over our hour, even though we finished our stuff for an hour because we've been talking Barbies. and I think we've been having fun doing it. So anyway, again, like I say, here's our Barbie jewelry. Easy to make. Just need some ring memory wire. And these are like making any earrings other than making the ear piece that goes in her ear. So very simple, but turns out really pretty, doesn't it? And then, of course, we finished our necklace that we started yesterday. And that's what we really, really came over to do that. Oh, yeah, PK, that's true. You could just put them on a little post instead of on her little ear wires. And you could do that, but they are very, very tiny. See, less than my fingernail. But they are pretty. Now, I am obviously a large earring wearer. These are the earrings we made on Monday's post, if you'll remember. These are from Bargain Bead. All the beads in here and those little dangle are from Bargain Bead Box. In fact, the chain is from Bargain Bead Box too. I added the wire and the post, but those are the ones we made on Monday on the video. So I mentioned at the very end of the video, I'm probably going to keep those because I did like them. So anyway, we're going to go. It's almost 10 after. So I hope you enjoyed finishing our necklace with us. Like I said, it's very, very lightweight. Deborah, I am too. As you can see, I am one of those people that are, if it's not big, I'm not wearing it. But then I have long hair, and if you wear too small earrings, they're gone. You can't see them if your hair gets in the way. Of course, if it's hot, my hair gets pulled back in one of my barrettes. So that's a help too. Speaking of a barrette, want to see the one I just finished the other day? Oh, it's still got its pins on. I need to pull the pins off. In fact, we'll just do that. Pretty. It's got a lizard, a flower, some mushrooms, and a fern. So this one I just finished. So I finished it yesterday, actually. So ladies, it's been great. We'll see you all later. I'm not sure what I'll do for a video for tomorrow, but I'll probably be working on it in a bit. So we'll see you later. And I've had a lot of fun with you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We can make some more Barbie jewelry later. I just have to find some more small beads. I could just make another pearl set, but with some different accents beads. That always works. So we'll see you later. Hope you had a nice time. Bye bye.